whistles talking football, and they all wear a whistle. Yeah, it's stupid, but what did you expect? It's a podcast called 25 Whistles. 25 Whistles.
Hey, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of college football. Download the DraftKings app and use the code BobbySports to get in on the action. I'm doing the show from Italy.
Ciao.
Are we all in Italy?
Texas?
It's wherever you want to be, dude.
Okay, all right.
I am literally, I think, in Italy right now, as this is people that have this. We recorded this before we left, and so right now I'm in Italy.
But like mentally, I would like to be in Italy.
I think I'm having a good time right now.
Yeah, for sure you are.
Yeah,
Have you eaten a lot?
a lot. And I told myself before I went I wasn't going to overeat, but I overate as soon as I landed.
Of course, man.
And I
Pizza. Let me guess. Pizza.
Not only pizza, pasta. I'm not even a big pasta
Lasagna.
guy, but I've had a lot of pasta. And then I went to this one little shop, and they had some gelato there. And I was like, let me just get a small cup. I've been back 7 times. It's by the hotel.
Italian ice.
No, that's just America.
Oh,
Dippin' Dots.
that's back in
They have
America.
American ice in
Because I haven't even been to Italy yet. I don't know what it's going to be.
Hey, why are you talking like that?
What do you mean?
Like every time I go to a shop,
It's a game.
football.
It's a whistle. So, yes, I will be in Italy. Where are you going to be when people hear this?
Probably on the golf course.
Dang. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm doing a staycation because my kids are in school, so I can't go anywhere.
Kelvin?
I will be on the beach in California.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Mike?
Texas.
Texas. Reed, what are you doing your hands up for? Why is Reed doing that?
I guess he's saying, should we play golf together?
Oh.
I'm sure if Reed wants
It
to.
looked
we'll
like
play.
there was some technical issue. Reed doesn't know, don't make big gestures while we're doing the show because I think something's wrong, like behind the scenes. And Reed's throwing his hands up like, what's the problem?
That's like when I was a lifeguard, my first week, I didn't know that you weren't supposed to. I'm going to blow the whistle just for demonstration.
Oh, we got to start the show anyway. Go ahead.
Okay, so I went, everyone out of the water, like break time, and everyone freaked out because apparently that's the signal for distress. And I didn't know that.
For a long whistle?
For a long whistle. Long whistle means emergency, everyone, all hands on deck. And so the whole pool freaked out. Like everyone jumped off their stands and everything. And I'm like, what's happening? They're like, what's going on? What's going on? I'm like, no, I was telling everyone break time, everyone out of the water.
But a really long.
I got in trouble.
Yeah. Well, it's like Reed threw his hands up and is like pointing at stuff. And I'm like, oh, God, something's wrong.
Exactly.
But instead he's like, go play golf.
All my friends are going out of town, man. I didn't realize Eddie was going to be here.
All right, coming up, we have UCF head coach Gus Malzahn, John Rhys Plumlee. We went and hung out with them. We'll get to that. Let's do the Tittle Tattle first. Let's go.
It's time for the stupidest name ever. It's the Tittle Tattle with Kickoff Kevin.
College football is in full effect, and we all love the atmosphere. What's one place you haven't been to atmosphere-wise in college that you would like to go to?
I like to see the swamp being swampy.
You ever been in the swamp?
Never been to the swamp. Been to LSU, crazy loud, awesome.
Death Valley?
I've been to some decent atmospheres.
Mm-hmm.
The swamp probably is the one, or maybe just because I'm an SEC guy. But like to go to the Horseshoe,
Ohio State?
Mhm.
would be like. But then I'm wanting a rivalry game. But if it's just a generic, I think that would be cool. But I just don't care.
Did you go to LSU to see them play Arkansas, or no?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, and it was fine. We got beat bad.
Okay.
But that atmosphere I didn't like.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, stupid.
Alabama would be cool, though.
I've been to Alabama before.
What's that like?
It's cool when they walk through at the beginning. They play Sweet Home Alabama, and it's cool, and everybody's up front, and it was we got beat real bad. It wasn't that great.
Well, you see, it sounds like that's going to be part of every
I know.
game you go
Sucked.
to.
It sucked. All right, next question.
Netflix just released a documentary on Urban Meyer in Florida. What is a drama-filled sports memory that you would like to see a documentary on?
I think it would be fun to have a behind-the-scenes look and have cameras in places like when LeBron was making his decision, like to see who was telling him what to do, leave Cleveland, what he was requesting from Cleveland, and they couldn't give him. So I think that's fun. I think when Peyton Manning became a free agent, because that was crazy because he was flying to all these places.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, Peyton Manning's landed here. That was fun. Brett Favre coming back 8 times.
Yeah.
Like to see the nuttiness that happens there, that whole saga. What's happening now with college football realignment and the conversations they're having to have now, all the Pac-12 teams that were like going to the Big 12 or Big 10, which they did before they went to the Big 12, and the teams that have no home or ACC. I think that's all. There's a lot. And I think because cameras are more readily available and everybody's recording everything, we may get to see some of this stuff. But that would be fun. Eddie, what comes to mind for you?
I was thinking of, Magic Johnson, just kind of, there's the movie, the Winning Time show or whatever, where you kind of get an idea of how hard he partied.
Oh, yeah.
But I would have liked to see
Magic Johnson
footage.
reality show.
and stories from him, because I've never heard him say like, "Oh yeah, I went hard." He never really just addresses that. But people tell the stories. I'd like to hear it from him. Like, what did you do, man? How hard did you go when you got to LA?
Magic's magic sexcapade out.
I mean, dude, you know he
gotta
went
go
hard.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson.
Magic
God.
Johnson.
Okay.
That's him and another guy named Johnson. Magic's Johnson. Yeah. All right, go ahead.
The top 3 Heisman favorites, according to DraftKings, are Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and Quinn Ewers. If you're putting your money down, you taking one of those 3 or the field?
I'd probably take the field if. Wait. So hold on. So I get to pick one of them or the field.
One of them or
No, one of the
one
three.
of those 3.
One of those 3.
So it's those 3 versus the field.
Yeah.
Yes.
That makes it different.
When these preseason like whatever predictions come out, how accurate are they?
They're usually, except for Spencer Rattler, which he was like the number 1 favorite to get drafted first, and that one was tough.
Okay.
And but those guys are always in the mix, I should say. They don't always win it. I would go with the field just because it's a numbers thing, but I think that Caleb Williams, if he has a good year, he'll win it. He's propped up to win it in every way. But I would take the field. I mean, you have the Corum from Michigan, who's a running back. If they win the national championship, a lot of it's going to depend on how good the teams are.
Mm-hmm.
The quarterback from Notre Dame, Hartman, has a shot if they're good. But still, Caleb Williams is the guy I put the money on. They want him to win.
Yeah.
If everybody's even, Caleb Williams wins. All right, next.
Speaking of the Heisman, when I say Heisman snub, who's the first person you think of?
Darren McFadden. Troy Davis should have never won the Heisman. He was finished second twice.
A
in the
little
Heisman
sensitive
voting.
nerve there. What do we
Darren
hit?
No,
McFadden
I couldn't
finished-
even finish the question.
I know.
Darren
man.
McFadden finished twice in Heisman 2 years in a row. It's so stupid. They lost to Troy Smith. Shouldn't have.
Troy Smith, I forgot about him.
So the one most people will probably say is Peyton Manning when Charles Woodson won, because Charles Woodson was playing defense, but was returning punts.
That's a big one. That's a big one over McFadden, I think, Bones. But I get it. McFadden's your dude. I get it, dude. And he went to the Cowboys, so he was all right. He ended up being all right.
Giving you the death
Twice.
stare.
He did. I know.
Twice. Adrian Peterson in 2004, when Matt Leinart won it, he just was penalized because he was a freshman, and no freshman had done that yet. They ended up doing that later. Freshman,
Menzel.
Money Man ended up winning it as freshman.
Matt Leinart.
Matt Leinart.
Right.
There's no D in his name.
Yeah, but it's pronounced Matt Leinart.
Say his name.
Matt Leinart.
See?
Sounds like a D.
Say his name.
Matt Leinart. Leinart.
See, now you
Leinart.
guys are Leinart.
Matt Leinart. It's how it's said. Don't be a
Okay.
douche.
All right.
All right, that's Tittle Tattle. Go ahead.
Stupidest name ever is the Tittle Tattle with Kickoff Kevin.
Just a reminder, 25 Whistles presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of college football. Download the DraftKings app and use the code BobbySports to get in on the action. You want to walk through our parlay, our 4-game parlay?
Come on, baby.
We already did it. You writing it down again?
Yeah.
We just literally just did
He
it.
just told me to grab my pen.
He put you up.
I feel like I'm being tricked.
I just said grab your thing so you remember who you picked.
Oh,
I
he's
didn't
like,
say
grab-
write it down.
I thought he said grab your pen,
Why
write
would
it
you,
down.
You faking it? You acting?
Hey, man, I'm just believing it, I guess. I don't know.
Tennessee money line.
He's doubling down.
Yeah.
South Carolina money line.
Gamecocks.
LSU money line. Washington money line. Collect your money.
Make some money.
4 money line bets. Good luck. If you want to take the 25 Whistles parlay, check out DraftKings Sportsbook. New users use the code BobbySports when you download the app. 21 and up in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. See show notes for full details. All right, our sit down with Gus Malzahn. We're sitting outside of a golf club. We played golf all day with Gus, Coach Malzahn some. And so we're all just chilling in golf clothes. He coached Cam Newton at Auburn as offensive coordinator in 2010. He also had Nick Marshall, Trey Mason, the Heisman finalists. He took an Auburn team who didn't win a single SEC game in 2012 and led them to an SEC championship and an appearance in the BCS championship in 2014. He's got he's got a championship. We saw the trophy.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
This is our dude, too, because he's a Texas guy, which I'm a Texas dude, and then he coached in Arkansas.
And he's an Arkansas guy, though.
That's right.
He's definitely an Arkansas guy.
But he was born in
Okay,
Texas.
Lunchbox was born in Kansas.
Like in Irving, too, I think. he
I was
said.
born there for 9 days. Do you remember it? Yeah. He's been the coach at UCF since 2021. Innovative offensive guy. and UCF in the Big 12 this year. You can follow Coach Malzahn on Twitter at Coach Gus Malzahn. Here you go.
Coach, I'd like to start by saying that I paid $800 today for different NIL things. And I didn't win a dang thing. We did every $800. I paid $800 for like catching punts. I got beat up knees.
Yeah.
I didn't win a door. I didn't win a single door. I didn't win half off at Topgolf.
Yeah, well, I will tell you this. You were impressive, though.
Thank you.
Okay,
Athletically,
so
yes.
You come through. I'm at the 18th hole. I was with each group. You know, you had scratches on your knees. You just got through catching like 4 out of 5 punts.
That's true.
Then you actually hit one that was one of the top shots of the day.
That's true, too.
So really, you should have won something.
Celebrated me with something, yes.
Yeah, we really should have. We dropped the ball on that one.
Yeah. So that we're just ending it at that. We just leave
And
it
it's
at
over.
that's it.
That's it.
Okay, all right.
That's the best we can do this
$800
year.
in the hole and a
Next
couple
year,
of hollow words.
I'll get
yeah.
with SJ and we'll figure it out.
Okay. Coach, this job that you have is so much politicking because it's important. There are a lot of people here, and look, I've never been shy about. I'm a massive fan, and I'm a donor at the University of Arkansas, and I see how that happens at a different level because they're extra nice to me because now in my life I have money. I mean, that's honestly the truth.
Yeah.
But you need money.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here. So you're having to basically be a politician. How much has that changed in your life as a coach?
Yeah, we're in a new age of college football right now. Probably the last 2 years with the one-time transfer, the collectives, NIL, and now it's just about being competitive. And an event like this is just, that's the new age of what we have to do. We're a young school, so we don't have all the older boosters that have great money. You pick up the phone and you call. It's kind of strength in numbers, and events like this is really our livelihood right now. I think today went great. I think everybody had a good time.
Yeah.
It really means a lot to us that you took the time to be here. It's a really big deal for us, and I think our players did a really good job, and I think most of the people had a good time.
Yeah, I didn't win a freaking door prize, though. How good of a deal was it that I was here?
Well, I bragged on you.
Yeah.
I said,
Well,
man, we
I
got
got-
Bobby Bones, one of my Arkansas guys here, and everybody thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, what mortgage is that paying? Nothing. A couple words from Coach Malzahn.
Man, I think they
What is
patted
that?
on you the back, and everybody shook your hand,
You guys are moving to the Big 12, and this is the year for that. Did you kind of see that coming when you came here and you stayed here? Because obviously you can go wherever you want. You won a national championship.
Yeah, so Terry Mahajer was my AD at Arkansas State, in 2012. And so when he got the job here and he hired me, I knew that we were going to be in a Power 5. I just didn't know it was going to be the Big 12. But I thought that everything trajectory was. I think the Big 12 really fits us well. We're the only school in the state of Florida in the Big 12. I think it's great for recruiting. And, it's a really good conference. It's really deep from top to bottom. And, we're blessed to be a part of it.
You're still young enough to relate to the players, but you're old enough to relate to their parents. You're young enough to understand and be invested and involved in NIL, but you're also old enough to have been here fully in before it all happened. Like, you're at that perfect age where you've seen it all shift.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel like, I don't know if I can do this, the whole landscape is changing? Because, again, you're just not an old dude.
Yeah, I'm. This college football ages in dog years. Okay, so I'm 57. I feel a little older. I really think the teams that are going to be successful in this new age is the teams and the coaches that adapt. I mean, that's just what you have to do. And I think we're a school that really embraces that. I've got a young staff around me that really helps me with that, and I'm embracing it.
Coach, during the games, you have the state troopers with you. At the end of the games, how long do they stay with you? Do you get to take them home? Do they take you all the way to the front
Are they on
steps of your
call?
house?
That's a
Yes.
great, like, at any time could you call them?
I've always wondered that, Coach.
When I first started to become a head coach, it kind of was a little awkward. Like, why are these guys around? Well, when you have a play like the kick six, all right, and at the end of the game, people are trying to tackle you, and they're like elbow, and they get you back to the locker room. It takes 15 minutes. You're glad you have them. But I tell you, it's really neat. You get really close to those guys. They travel with you, and they're really neat. To get to know.
And they have badges. They can get you in. My security guy has a badge. There's nowhere we can't get. Just because he has a badge.
Yeah.
He's a former DA officer, and it doesn't matter. He's got a badge, and we can go in there.
It's awesome.
Which is awesome. The kick six. Did you know the kicker might not be able to make that kick? I mean, was there this might not. I mean, that play just seemed to happen.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was not a hold blows my mind.
Yeah. So they missed their starter missed like 2 or 3 field goals. They put their backup in. That's a big moment. It was 56 yards. The breeze was blowing in their face. And to be honest with you, I was thinking it could be a fake. But we just called timeout. We moved Chris Davis back. He was normally on the block. That was the first time we did it. And I just told our guys, I said, they've got 2 defensive guys at the wings. The rest are offensive linemen. If it's short, block those 2 defensive linemen. So, halfway there, I saw it. My eyes go to the line of scrimmage. We're blocking those 2 guys. I'm about the 50-yard line. They come by, and there was some good blocks, and so Chris Davis went by me. There's not a white shirt within 15 yards. So what do you do as a coach? I'm looking for flags. And then I didn't even see him score, but I just went, wow, we just beat them boys like that. It was kind of a real surreal moment,
One of the craziest sporting moments I've ever seen in my life. Watching live. I wasn't there, but I bet you there are so many people that claim they were there now. How many people now go, Coach, I was there, and there's no chance they were there.
You hear a lot of that, there's no doubt.
I bet people are like, I was there. It was one of the I wasn't there, but I did watch it. You started coaching high school football.
Yeah.
There are many ways to be at the top of your profession. Some of the guys I know, they finish college, they go be a GA, they stay in the college ranks, so they go to the NFL. Your route was through high school.
Yeah.
Did you know when you went to coach high school that my eventual goal is to be the head coach of a major college program?
No, not at all. I mean, I started out at Hughes High School, and I was just so blessed and happy to be a coach. And I really wanted to win a state championship. That's really, what my whole mindset was. And I was hoping to maybe coach at a Fort Smith South Side, North Side. I'm from Fort Smith. So I was real blessed. Hughes, we won the state championship. We didn't win it. Went to Shiloh. We won a couple. Went to Springdale. I came at a really good time. We had great players. And then I got a chance to go to Arkansas. I mean, that was like a dream come true for a guy from Fort Smith, Arkansas. And I played for the Hogs for 2 years, a walk-on. And so that really, got me in college football.
Man, we wanted you to be the head coach. We wanted you. I know you no comment, but we wanted you to be the head coach, Coach. Well, that's all I'll say. Is we
He's
wanted
not even
you.
looking at you.
Well, I know he shouldn't. I'm just gonna say you don't gotta say anything.
Yeah.
But you done wrong, Coach. I'm gonna be on the record. He's not even looking at me. He's making no movement at all. But I'm just gonna say I am on the record saying Coach Malzahn was done wrong. That being said, Coach, is there anything? Do you ever have a eureka moment at this point in your career offensively? Everybody knows you as an offensive mind or genius or whatever the term is. Do you ever go, oh, this is something that I just discovered?
I tell you what, I think to be on top of your game, you've got to have that mindset. Even if you believe in what you're doing, you got to stay cutting edge, and you got to stay fresh. And that's what I try to do. And obviously having good people around me helps. But it's all about players. If you've got good players, you can be very creative, and they give the coach way too much credit. I've been blessed to coach some of the better players to play college football. I mean, Darren McFadden, Felix Jones, Peyton Hillis. My wife could have coached those 3. Oh, yeah. Put the Wildcat in that year, and McFadden made it famous, and I got a chance to coach Cam Newton. That's some of the better players to ever play college football. So.
And you were his OC, right?
I was the OC when I had Cam. Yeah.
What's the difference in Cam? It could be physically, because he is different. He was different wherever he went. What was the difference in Cam?
When I started coaching Cam, he wasn't the same Cam Newton he is today. He was, trying to prove himself. He had a chip on his shoulder, and just a great competitor. Just a freak athlete, but he could flat out throw it. Great leader. He willed us to win a national championship. We weren't really ultra talented around him, and it was just something to be a part of, and just one of those special years.
Coach, what's your favorite time of day to play on Saturdays? Because, I wake up Saturday mornings, I'm like, oh, my gosh, it's almost 11 Central Time. So do you like playing early and getting out of the way, or do you like –
The longer I've been in college football, I want to play early, because I'm one of those guys that the later the game, I'm like a fan. I meet with the guys, and, I probably wear them out. But, I like having their game early. And then in college football, you don't have a lot of time to spend with your family. So college coaches, if you play early, you get to spend the rest of the Saturday afternoon and evening with your family. So I'm always rooting for the early games.
When you say early, when does your day start?
It just depends. Like if you play 11 o'clock game, of course, you don't want to play 11 o'clock games, so that's usually you're at the bottom of the conference, okay? But, the 2:30, CBS or Fox game, that's really what you want. And then you get a chance to spend a whole evening, with your family.
All right, final 5 questions for Coach Malzahn. Going into the Big 12, do you scheme differently at all? Are they, and I know you guys probably have a lot of analytics guys, going from the AAU conference to the Big 12, are they just bigger players? So do you have to play a different kind of ball? Because you guys already look like you can compete right now.
Yeah, so I think the big thing, anytime you move up, Power 5 conference, you've got to be good and deep up front on both sides of football. The skill, a lot of times, are very similar. And so we've known about this for about a year and a half, 2 years. We have an offensive line, defensive line that I think we have more quality depth than we've had maybe since I've been coaching, and that's really key. But in this league, you got to score points, and you got to play defense. So we've been really focusing on trying to play great defense, and hopefully that'll separate us.
You've been in Florida for a little bit now. Have you seen any gators around?
Why do you keep asking everybody about gators? Every body of water.
We
coach is
played
like,
the
"There's a gator."
Gators. We played the Gators in a bowl game.
No, Coach.
a year and a
Real
half.
gators.
He wants to
real
know where a
gators.
real gator
You know
is.
what? Yeah. So, yeah, and it did freak me out the first time. But
Yeah.
yeah, I play at Interlochen Golf Course, and I get near the pond, I'm looking, and every now and then you'll
What's
see
that?
a gator.
Interlocking Golf Course.
Yeah, it's a country club.
It's the name of a
It's in
country
Winter
club.
Park.
A lot of
yeah.
gators out there.
Every now and then there's a few, but they'll get them out of there. But no, hey, you got to be ready around it.
I don't
in
think
the
so.
state. No.
Okay.
That's crazy.
All right, 3 questions
Thanks,
left.
Coach.
So I was talking with JR. I think if a player now on defense has all of a sudden he grabs his hamstring because you guys' offense is moving too fast, they want to slow the game down. I think that should be a 3-play, not penalty, but you have to sit out 3 plays. Minimal.
Yeah.
Because it drives me crazy when an offense is moving the ball.
Yeah.
And you can put whatever high octane, what wide open offense you want. But when they grab their hamstring and they're back in at 1 play later,
Yeah.
you got to go out 3 plays. How do you feel about that rule change I'm suggesting?
Yeah, I've been that drives me crazy. I was one of the first no huddle guys back when everybody was griping about it. Now they're all doing it, but anything like that, 3 plays, I'd be all for that. I'd be ready, for the rest of the game. I mean, I just think, there's no place in college football for that. And I think when it comes to a common sense thing, and like you said, the guy comes in the next and he laid there, and they had to come out and get him. I'm all for that.
Well, they're always like giggling too when they come back in 1 play later, Coach. They're up to something.
No, that drives offensive coaches
Drives me
nuts.
crazy.
Yeah, good.
Coach
yeah.
Bones and I, we've been working out a little bit, and I mean, just 3 or 4 days a week, no big deal.
big deal.
But do you think, like, with our physical,
Yeah.
Yeah,
look at
structure
us
right
again.
now, where we're at right now, do you
Yeah.
think we can play for you today?
Bobby caught punts, okay? That did, and he
Let's
dove
go.
and he
Yep.
was scratched
I dove,
up.
yep.
I told you that
Scratched my
earlier.
knees up.
So I think he, when I'm thinking of Bobby, he's pretty tough.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
you need to
and
ask
so-
John Rhys about this. I caught a long, deep pass from him at the facility
caught a
yesterday.
pass?
Yeah.
Long.
I would
long
have to evaluate you probably and see. But, I think, we'll at least give you a look.
That's
put it
what I'm
that way.
talking
Yeah,
about.
we'll at least give you a look.
He said nothing. You said that's what I'm
one.
talking about. He literally said
He
nothing.
said, we'll give you a look.
That's him trying to get out of this
And I
interview.
love
He
that.
wants to finish the interview. Okay, last question, Coach. What's it like being rich? Because
Yeah, good question.
Really, because you are a guy who comes from humble beginnings,
Yeah.
and that's inspiration for people everywhere. Because it's not like you had a huge trust fund and your grandpa owned or President University. Like, you did it, and people like myself and other people from small parts and small states look at you as if he can do it, there's a shot I can do it. Like, you can just go into a store and buy anything. Do you look at price tags anymore? Be honest. Do you even look at a price tag anymore?
Every now and then.
Yeah.
It depends.
Man.
It depends. But I will say this. I mean, I'm one blessed guy. There's a lot of high school coaches a lot smarter than me that just hadn't been put in the right situations, and everywhere I've been, I've had great players, I've had great coaches, great administrators. So, I'm just living a dream, and I'm no high school coach.
But look, Hughes, you went to the state championship
Yep.
game. We can go through Shiloh. We can go through Springdale.
Yeah.
We can go through all the players that magically, all the schemes that magically happen. But the one consistent, the one constant, the common denominator is you. And you have to also, and I know you're a humble guy,
Yeah.
but you are very inspiring even to someone like myself because you show up, you have a good attitude, you work hard, and you motivate others to do the same.
Yeah.
So-
Well, I appreciate you saying that. My best friends in the world are Arkansas guys. I'm an Arkansas guy, and pretty neat for me to be sitting here with you, to be honest with you. I've kept up with you a long time and have that connection to Arkansas. But, I'm just proud to be a Arkansas high school football that's just coaching college, to be honest with you.
We're rooting for you guys, Coach.
Thank you.
I only like 3 teams: Arkansas, whoever's playing Texas, and now UCF.
I
That's
like it. I like it.
That's
I
it.
like it.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Coach.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, thanks to Coach Malzahn. College football fans, ready for week 1? DraftKings Sportsbook is hooking you up with a can't-miss offer to start the season strong. This week, new customers can bet just $5 on college football and score $200 in bonus bets instantly. Anything can happen in college football. Yeah, last week was week 0. This is week 1, though. Your team could go from unranked to dynasty mode in just a couple years because change comes fast. The only thing that's a lock is the great offers from DraftKings Sportsbook. Life is more fun when you're in on the action. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the code BobbySports. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on college football. Only DraftKings Sportsbook with the code BobbySports. The crown is yours. Put in that code BobbySports. 21 and up in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER in New York, 877-8-HOPE-NY, or text HOPE-NY 467-369. See show notes for full details. Now let's get to an interview with UCF quarterback John Rhys Plumlee. So he was the quarterback at Ole Miss, transferred over, grew up in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, 4-star recruit coming out of high school. But before Ole Miss, he committed to Georgia and then chose Ole Miss and then transferred to UCF to play football and baseball. He does it both. He finished with 3,500 passing yards, 23 touchdowns last year with 10 home runs and 18 stolen bases.
Crazy.
You can follow him at John Rhys Plumlee, John R-H-Y-S Plumlee. Here he is.
We're at the indoor facility for UCF. Is there an official name that you got, or what's the nickname of this place?
We just call it indoor.
So you just go to the indoor?
Yeah.
The last time that I saw you, I guess you've never known I was watching you, but the first time I saw you, I guess, was taking a golf cart from the spring game here to a baseball game.
Yeah.
And like ESPN did this whole thing about you, and they were
Yeah.
like, "Watch this! He's gonna morph as he's a transformer, taking his pads off, and he's gonna go to the baseball field."
Well, when you started that story, when you said on a golf cart, my mind immediately went, "What have I done on a golf course that was bad that
yeah.
you saw a video of?" But I kind of like that version better.
Probably golf course. You're probably. Are you a good golfer though? Are you that annoying guy who's good at everything?
No, absolutely not. I'm good for losing probably anywhere from 18 to 22 golf balls around.
Do you play?
That's my average.
Golf like you do baseball though? Is that what it is? You're.
Yeah, I'm baseball swinging at the golf ball for sure.
So you're playing two sports. Was that part of the reason that you wanted to come to UCF?
Yeah, it was a big piece. Talking to Coach Malzahn when I got in the transfer portal, he said, "Hey man, you have the opportunity to come play quarterback," and I said, "Well, Coach, I want to play baseball too." And he said, "Hey, we'll make it happen."
But does he say that like we'll make it happen, but really he doesn't want to make it happen?
So going back to high school recruiting, he was at Auburn recruiting me there, and I told him, "Hey, I want to play quarterback." And he said, "Well, come on a visit." Well, I get to the visit, and he says, "Hey man, we don't want you to play quarterback. We want you to play slot receiver." And he showed me all these things that he wanted me to do, and I was basically like, "Thanks, but no thanks." But like he told me something that I didn't want to hear, so I knew that it wasn't. He came back later in high school and said, "Hey, we want you as a quarterback. We watching a film on you now that, hey, we want you." And I knew he wasn't going to say something that was a lie because he already told me something I didn't want to hear once, right? And so he wasn't talking out of the side of his mouth. And so fast forward, transfer portal, "Hey, I want to play quarterback. You can do it. Hey, I want to play baseball. We'll make it happen." And so it was kind of one of those things that not only did he stick by what he said, he jumped through a bunch of hoops to make it happen. Like we moved the spring game back an hour and then the baseball game up an hour. So I have an opportunity to go from the game to the spring game. And so there was a lot of stuff that he did communicating with the head baseball coach, Coach Lovelady, to just give me the opportunity to do it. Because like at a lot of places, like that's impossible. What I did this spring is like, that's a no-go. That's not.
Or they
that's not
tell
gonna
you
work.
you can do it, and then it's not actually
Correct.
what's
Yeah.
able. I like that he told you no at one point, even though it wasn't the same about being a receiver. In one of my books, I wrote about how find somebody that can tell you suck because then you can trust them when they
That's right. Yeah.
when they say you do good.
Yeah, that's right. So when they tell you when you're bad, or tell you when you suck, or tell you something that you don't want to hear, when they say something that you do want to hear, you
believe
can
them.
take it to the bank. Yeah, yeah, he's being truthful.
When you're doing that and you're playing the spring game and you know you're going to go hop over onto the baseball, how do you stay focused? Because you've got to individualize each of them, but also you're like a real life human being.
Yeah.
How do you stay focused on one when the other one's coming up in like an hour and a half?
That's right. So I was pretty good. Like, went through the same routine as I do every baseball game. We're playing Memphis, and so you go through your pregame hitting routine. You take in and out. You do all these things to get ready for the baseball game. And so my first at bat of the game, I hit a triple, and which kind of I think made it a little bit cooler. If I would have went up there and went 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, it wouldn't have been as cool as an ESPN video, right? Like, it wouldn't have been as fun. But later on in the game, probably around 6th, 7th inning, you start hearing the bounce house. Like you start hearing the speakers, like they're playing loud music, and it's like I was completely focused in on baseball, but now it's like you're hearing the bounce house getting to go. You're seeing all the people walking up, and it's like, man, I'm kind of itching to get over there, right? And so the game kind of got out of hand. We were up like 10-3 or something like that, and so I was up like 3rd the next inning, and I said, hey, we're winning pretty handily in the 7th. They can handle me for 9 outs, and I can get over there. And because we had a rain delay too, that kind of complicated the whole thing. And so I'm up third. I go to talk to Coach Lovelady. I'm like, hey, what do you think? He's like, I think that sounds good, right? And the guy that was up that inning hit a bomb. And the guy that led off for us hit a bomb. And so I was like, okay, yeah, we got this one in the bag, boys. And so next guy hit. I hit a single, called time, ran off, put my stuff back, ran onto the golf cart. Kenny was right in there, ready to rock, and we drove off.
The move would have been the Forrest Gump move where you just keep running.
That's right.
You hit the base.
Just right
You just
past
keep
the
running
golf
you know,
cart.
all the
Hit the
way.
guy with the
Don't
tuba.
even check up.
Yes. So, I mean, you're like the, I don't know, you may be too young to get the reference here, but like Bo Jackson. Like
Deion
you're
Sanders.
UCF's Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders.
Yeah. That's a cool comparison, right? Like, I mean,
If you got hurt at one of them, I'd be so pissed if I was the other coach.
yeah, that wouldn't make for as good as an ESPN story.
Yeah,
I mean,
right, yeah.
it'd be another bump in the road that would not be good.
What do the teammates think like in baseball? Like, is there anyone else that's really good at football too? And they're just like, what does JR get to do that?
Yeah, I mean, on
Not me.
both teams, there's always guys that are like, dude, I could play line on the baseball team. I could play linebacker, 100%. And I'm like, hey man, I'm looking at you right now, and I look at the linebackers that we have on the team. They would eat you for breakfast. Like, it would not even be close. And then of course there's some football guys that are like, oh yeah, I can hit homers, 100%.
Because they did in high school too, probably.
Yeah. One of my buddies, Trent Whittemore, he swears that he can hit. I took him over to the baseball facility one day, and we have these like soft replica baseballs, and we have a machine that kind of can throw you sliders, can throw you a bender, can throw you a high spin rate fastball. I said, all right, get in there with him. And for the first like 15 pitches, he's just swinging at air, right? But eventually he got it. He hit like a ground ball up the middle, and he's fired up.
He foul tipped.
And
I
he's like,
told you.
I told you I could do it.
I told you.
Shout out Trent.
Your locker in the facility here is right by the doors that go right into the stadium.
That's right.
Why that spot? It almost looks like it was purposeful that you're right there by the entrance or the exit to go right onto the field. And this place does get really loud. Your first time here in that spot, what did it sound like?
I didn't pick my locker spot. I came in and my name was on locker, and so we come in for game days, and it's usually set up like our pads are in there, helmets are in there, our game day loop, which has our pants, undershirt, everything that you can imagine on there. Then your cleats are sitting in the bottom of the locker, like. It's all set up pristine, ready to rock. And so for every game, I take a picture of it just because I think it's so cool, right? Like, I'm living out my dream, and there's a locker that somebody took the time to set up for me. And so I'm right beside the door. And my first game here, I'd obviously never played in the bounce house. I'd played in Tuscaloosa, Auburn, Mississippi State, Ole Miss. Like, I'd played in some really, really cool stadiums before, never played in the bounce house. And so look up some YouTube videos, kind of like, it's like, okay, this place is kind of live. It's kind of lit, right? And so I'm sitting in my locker and have my headphones on, and I start to hear this kind of like ruckus, and I'm like beside me, and I, come off of one ear, and then I look to my left, and there's double doors where we go out into the tunnel, and they're just rattling, and I'm like, okay, somebody's trying to break in. Like, what we're gonna have to fight somebody that's trying to get in this locker room right now. And I look around the locker room, and it's like nobody's batting an eye, and it's just the stadium. They started playing Zombie Nation, ooh, ooh, and everybody's jumping,
Yeah.
and it's like holy cow! I take my headphones off, and it's like, this place is unbelievable. And we go out of the tunnel, of course, and then Zombie Nation's still playing, and you're walking down the tunnel, and it's the windscreens are like beating in on you and flashing strobe lights. You go out, the fire goes up, smoke happens, and it's like, this is unbelievable. This is sweet. This is out of a dream, 100%.
I watch quarterback on Netflix, and again, I only played high school football, and not even that good. Last time I played quarterback was like 7th grade.
So you could star on the show.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I got in the portal.
7th
Yeah.
grade.
Got in the portal.
Okay.
Nobody wanted me.
Okay.
Got in the
That's
junior high
weird.
portal.
You're still in the portal.
That's really weird.
If you look now, I'm still sitting in the portal. Yeah.
Waiting for your opportunity. That's right.
When these guys get hit, which we don't get to hear on TV, but they get hit hard, and it's like this. Oh, you hear them just.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that when you get hit? Is that what it feels like? The oxygen just being sucked out of you if you get nailed? Like, what does it feel like when you're like a blindside shot or right up the middle? Somebody's blitzing up the middle and just lays into you.
There was one play that comes to my mind from last year. It's inside zone to the left, so I'm about to hand it off to Bowser. This guy goes to I think it was Bowser or RJ, goes to tackle RJ, so I pull the ball. I'm running the ball, right? I run around the edge. And I get out there and I try to cut back. Maybe it was a pass play. I can't remember. I get tackled like from the back, like I didn't see him. Boom! I go down, and I come up, and it's like the breath was knocked out of me, right? Well, the next play, 4th and 1, like we got to get this play, and so last year I relayed the call to the offensive line, and so I'm behind the offensive line like, and they're all like, I'm usually a really loud guy, like you can hear me, and they're all like turning around like, what the heck is going on right now? Thankfully, I don't know if they knew I got my breath knocked out of me or not, but they called timeout. Coach did. We came to the sideline, and I was like, water. I don't know if you've ever seen SpongeBob episode. Water, Sandy. And that's what I felt like. Eventually got my breath back, and then we got the first down. It ended up being all right. But, yeah, when you take one when you don't see it coming, like to anywhere around the body, around the rib cage, yeah, you'll feel it for sure.
In baseball, let's say if the umpire gets hit in the neck or so, the catcher will go talk, or the umpire will talk to the pitcher just to give somebody a few seconds to adjust to being. Is there a way that happens in college football where somebody will kind of cover for somebody else? Because again, you have a play clock.
Yeah. The only thing that comes to my mind when you say that is like when offenses are in pace, like we're going fast, and usually go fast when you've got a defense on their heels, right? Whether they're tired, whether they're in the wrong personnel they don't want to be in. You got them on your heels, so you're going fast, play after play after play. And then all of a sudden, it's like clockwork. Somebody catches a hamstring cramp, right? They're going to go down. Oh, I'm hurting. Well, they go to the sideline and they're back in the next play. I think that's the only equivalent of like slowing down the pace of it.
See, I think they should pull them for 3 plays if they do that, because we've seen high tempo offenses, especially and you guys are going to the Big 12. Everything's SEC. Big Ten kind of slow and fat. But other than that, you have a lot of these up-tempo offenses, these Oregons in the Pac-12, that if these players don't grab their legs, they get ran.
Sure.
But if you do that, and we saw Lane Kiffin talking in a press conference about it, if you do that, you should be pulled for 3 plays.
I think that'd be a good rule. I mean, I think that'd be a fair rule.
Or
right?
the whole series until it's a first down again. So if you got a first down, the next play's a first down, that's great. But just to go out for 1 play and the person comes back in, look at me, look how happy I am.
That's right. I'm good.
It's just too much.
I think the 3 play could be good. I'm trying to think of what would be bad about that.
That's got to be so
like,
frustrating for you as a quarterback. Like you're cooking, you got it, you're making the souffle.
100%.
I'm making stuff up here.
Yeah, I like that.
Souffle. You got the forks in the kitchen. Spaghetti noodles are on the wall.
Sure.
And all of a sudden somebody grabs a hamstring, and you're like, I know that ain't real.
That's right. The pasta was about to be served.
Exactly.
Dang, man.
Hate that.
It's terrible.
What I like about just seeing you here as we showed up and just kind of watching you walk around the whole sports center is everyone. Like everyone that came up, whether it's the camera guy or the video dudes or the editors or whatever.
You got to turn the lights on this place. He literally walked over and turned the lights up in the box.
It's pretty unbelievable. And so when you show up to a school, I mean, is it, as a starting quarterback, is it kind of part of it where you're like, I want to be a leader here. I want to know everyone's name. I want to, because it does take a village, right?
Sure.
To run this football team. So what do you do when you get to a school?
I mean, I think it is. I think it is part of it. I myself I'm pretty big on relationships. Like I would call myself a people person, and so I enjoy interacting with people. And so when I was a little kid, I talked a lot, and it got me in trouble, in school and stuff. But now I feel like it helps me out in the long run. I get to know people a lot better. And but yeah, I think it's part of the gig a little bit about playing quarterback. Like if you want to be able to lead a group of people, you have to know the group of people, I feel like, or at least they have to have some respect for you. Well, how do you gain respect? You got to get to know them. You got to show them what you're all about. And so I think that is a little bit a part of it. Yeah.
All right, final 5 questions. The first question is, with you being here working under Malzahn, Coach Malzahn, who is an offensive guru, genius, whatever term they're using this season, like what is that like as a quarterback? How hard was it to come in and understand what he's trying to do with his philosophy?
Yeah. Unbelievable offensive mind, right? Like, as I'm sure a lot of people know, like, if you can go back and watch Coach Malzahn, wherever he's been successful on the offensive side of the ball. Like, he's really, really good at scheming up defenses, But for the most part, offenses do a lot of the same. Everybody's going to run inside zone. Everybody's going to run stretch plays. Everybody's going to have a couple of shots, some quick game stuff. But I think it's about how you call it and how you execute it, right? And that's, I think, what Coach Malzahn really preaches to us. It's not the X's and O's. It's about how well you execute what we're doing here. And so, again, and there is some little nuggets in there that he's doing different than a couple of different people that kind of make his offense a little bit special. And with Coach Henshaw coming in this year, we're going to be stretching the field vertically a lot more than we were last year.
A lot of hamstring injuries from the other team, it sounds like.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, y'all get ready to just,
Calves and hamstrings going to be hurting.
That's right. Make sure you're hydrating before. Make sure you're hydrating before. But, yeah, he's unbelievable, and he's one of the best coaches I've ever had, for sure.
What's your favorite football movie?
Favorite football movie?
Because it's interesting. The different generations is interesting. Like, you ask, like, me, I'm older. Rudy, like, for sure. Have you even seen Rudy?
I have not seen Rudy.
That's crazy.
See,
that's crazy.
We should probably cut that.
What?
That's crazy.
God.
You've not seen Rudy?
Stop it. I know. Am I
Wow.
turning red right now? I'm blushing.
When I made the Forrest Gump reference, did you even get that?
I did. I got the Forrest right.
Thank goodness.
Wow. Favorite football movie?
Blindside. I really
Hilarious.
love Blindside.
For those that don't know, my friend, SJ, was the kid, not the actor, the real-life kid.
Should we pan to him? I think.
I didn't even know.
And the actor.
I didn't even know when I met SJ. I didn't know that's the deal. I was at Arkansas, and he came and picked me up in a golf cart, much like yourself, but mine wasn't as fancy yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
And he was taking me to the stadium, whatever. It was like, I was like, I like this dude. He's pretty normal, whatever. We finished the whole day, whatever. I'm like, hey, dude, good to see you. Here's my number, whatever.
Sure.
you know, whatever.
Whatever, dude.
And then we're going back, and someone's like, that's S.J. Toohey. And I'm like, who's S.J. Toohey? And they were like, the kid from The Blind Side. I was like, he played that kid.
That was
as
him?
the actor.
Oh my god!
And they were like, no, that's the real kid. I'm like, his mom was Sandra. I still didn't get it. I was
That's
like,
right.
his mom
You were
was
trying to
Sandra
piece
Bullock.
it all
Tim
together.
McGraw
Yeah,
was
that's
his
right.
Wait
dad.
a minute.
That's really cool.
Yes, but The Blind Side, legit.
It's a good one.
Wait, but
It's a good
SJ
one.
was
And
the
I'll have a
actor
connection
as
to
well?
it.
Is that?
No, he wasn't the actor.
Oh.
Oh
No, he was both. He's being real.
no, he wasn't.
wasn't.
He's
He's
lying.
lying.
Okay, see,
Come
I don't
on,
know who
see
to
right
believe
through that.
anymore.
Fall for
Come
that
on.
crap. All right.
Come on.
Question 3 of 5. You ran the ball a lot last year, man.
Sure.
You ran the ball a lot, and you're
You
really
sound like
good
you're
at-
worried for him.
I am worried for him because he is.
We just asked about the getting hit in the rib cage. He's a little bit.
He's great at running
Sure.
the ball. However, I think about your longevity a bit too, and if you're running the ball all the time,
Yeah.
that means you're getting hit all the time. What's different this season?
So we went back and broke down. Well, we say we. I did not. Coach Henshaw, Coach Malzahn, a lot of the GAs and coaches went back and broke down every time I got hit last year, and it was something like 183 times, which is for a quarterback absurd. That numbers I think is pretty high for a running back, and so we came to the conclusion I don't need to be hit as much, and also. Last year I got beat up, whether it was hamstrings, AC sprains. Cincinnati I got hit in the head pretty hard, and so goal this year, don't get hurt. How do you do that? You don't take hits, right? You maybe run the ball less. Yeah, sure. Stretch the ball downfield with the guys. Like I said earlier, let the fast guys run fast. Just get the ball to them, right? And so maybe when I gash them, instead of trying to run over somebody, I slide. Which we say this like. It was designed runs all the time. It was myself doing that. And then when I would start running, I would run like a dummy and try to run into people instead of trying to run away from the big and fast people too. And so it's a group effort, but the goal is to not get hit as much this year.
What's it like? To be honest, what's it like being a starting quarterback in college?
Yeah.
What's it like?
Yeah, it's for as far back as I can remember, like I wanted to play football and baseball at the highest level. Like, I wanted to do them both for as long as I could until somebody said, hey, man, you are not allowed to do that anymore. And look at me 22 years later, right? I'm living out my dream. It's like, this is unbelievable.
Yeah, but he means the girls.
Yeah, but I'm talking
He
about
means
like
the
you're
girls.
on
Okay,
campus,
look,
man,
well,
and it's like
Like you're like the dude. I mean, yeah.
Nah, well, I have a girlfriend named Lucy, and Lucy Moore. Me and her have been dating since junior year of high school.
Okay, well, let's scratch that
There's
question.
nothing more Mississippi
You could
than
say
that.
you could say
That's
I'm
the
out of
most
the game.
Mississippi thing, and I say that as somebody from Arkansas. That's the most Mississippi thing.
Listen, I was told once I think it was either by my dad or my grandfather. When you find a good one, don't let her go.
And neither one of us disagree with you.
No, we agree.
Yeah. Okay, final question.
Forget
for
that
you
question
here.
then.
Really, none of the teams you played last year you're playing this year.
That's right.
It's a complete 180.
With the old flipperoo.
Yeah, you're Big 12 now, and I don't know how are you guys approaching this season differently? You don't have a bunch of tape of you guys playing these teams.
Sure.
So what are you doing to get ready?
I mean, it's everybody's pumped up, right? Like from the coaches to the players to the fans, like we're all fired up to be in the Big 12, right? And when going to the Power 5, I think we're like the youngest Power 5 school by like 30 years or something like that. Like it's not close. A lot of eyeballs are going to be on us when you're the new guy on the block playing really good football. There's a lot of eyeballs on you. But what more would you want, right? Like what if you had it your way? Would you not put it like that? Would you not play against some of the best teams in the country, or would you just go play somebody that nobody really knows, right? And so we're super excited. But I mean, at the end of the day, football's football. You're still playing on 120-yard field, like and you still got to line up and say HUD, like. And we have the personnel. I mean, I think you got it all from the top down, from the coaches. I mean, we've got the personnel in the team to do it on the offensive side of the ball to the defensive side of the ball, special teams. I mean, we're all three phases. We're checking boxes, and then the place that we play in, the Bounce House, is electric, right? It's going to be up there as one of the best stadiums in the conference, I think, with the best fans too. And so, I think the best way to put it is we're fired up and we're looking to perform at a high level. And so I think that's how I'd tie it up and put a bow on it. We're fired up, and championship standard has always been the standard at UCF, and so that's kind of what we're looking to carry on and keep doing.
Well, to end, I'd like to highlight that I'm still in the portal.
That's right.
I know we have a lot of eyes and ears right here on this.
That's right.
Mostly because of him, but I'm still in the portal, guys.
So you're still available.
That's right.
Yeah, I've been there since 7th grade.
Hey, and you've been training.
It's because
nonstop.
you haven't
trained.
mentioned it in a video.
Yeah,
yet.
yeah,
But now it's out.
So
You're gonna get picked up, I think.
YouTube.
Do your
What's
deal.
up?
Do your
I have
deal.
all my years left. Yeah, I got a COVID year. I got like 9 years
I
of
mean, yeah,
eligibility left.
we've got a lot of ball left.
Yeah, we
to
got
play.
a lot of ball. We love ball. You want to throw some to us?
Yeah, sure,
You-
let's do
we
this.
got that?
Let's
All
do
right,
this.
we'll
We're
put
gonna
the-
catch
we'll
balls
put
from
the-
him?
Well, yeah, we have some, and we have some clothes to put on, so we don't like.
Oh my goodness.
But hey, if it goes too fast, grab your hamstring.
Okay.
There you go.
If it's like too fast,
Calf or calf is good as well. Calf is
and then
good
take
as
a break, and then we'll get up and do it again. Good. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Awesome,
absolutely,
dude.
guys.
We're rooting
Appreciate
for you.
y'all a ton.
All right, that's it. Thank you guys. We'll be back from our vacations early next week.
Yeah, because we're in Italy right now.
We are all in Italy.
Yes, we are.
These guys joined me when the John Rhys Plumlee interview was playing. Everybody came over and joined me in Italy.
Yep. So now it's us, Bones, and his wife.
Yep, and it's kind of awkward because I have one bed. So what stinks, what lightly stinks, is that I have to miss the first Arkansas game being there because of us coming back from Italy. But it's a rent. I don't want to say this and jinx it, but it's a game that we're paying.
Them.
Yeah,
Who you play?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Let me look. It's on my. I keep all the games in my calendar.
On your personal calendar?
Yeah,
That's funny. Do you actually put them in there yourself?
yeah.
WCU.
Wow.
WCU. Yeah.
WCU, Western Coastal
Western
University.
Carolina.
Carolina. Boom.
Catamounts.
Yeah.
They're called the Catamounts.
And yes, I do put it on my calendar, and everybody else don't schedule over it. That's why I'm touring, and I'm not really There's
Got it.
almost. There's a couple, but it was like, don't book me on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So that's it. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great weekend. Blow the whistle. We're back. Hope you have a great weekend. Watch college football. Collect your money with the parlay. That's it. Goodbye. Bye, everybody.